So, folks, I want to talk a little bit about how Donald Trump is doing. We gotta do our periodic check-in with the man. Like how's he doing? Like it's tough living with soup brain syndrome. Okay, SBS affects one president every year since this year, and it's really dangerous. It's really dangerous, not just for the person suffering with SBS, but also for those around them and those governed by them. It's a dangerous time, and we need to make sure our man suffering from SBS, soup brain syndrome, is at the top of his game. Let's check in on him, huh? Here he is. This is his Christmas reception, everybody.
Unbelievable on policy, and we have a policy thing that's going to be unbelievable happening. Should I announce it or should I keep it quiet? I put Vince in charge of the triumphal arc. We're building an arc like the Arc de Triomphe, and we're building it by the Arlington Bridge, the Arlington Cemetery, opposite the Lincoln Memorial. You could say Jefferson, Washington, everything, because they're all right there. And it's something that is so special. It will be like the one in Paris, but to be honest with you, it blows it away. Blows it away.
Jesus Christ, he's mentioned it, like we're building one like in Paris. It'll be like that one in Paris. Yeah, they're building. Donald Trump announces that he wants to build an Arc de Triomphe similar to what Napoleon ordered constructed in France. And guys, if you know anything about Napoleon and the Napoleonic Wars, Napoleon ordered the Arc de Triomphe, and by the time they started building it, things were not going so hot for Napoleon. Now, if Donald Trump is making a connection between himself and Napoleon, one, I don't think he is, because again, he's suffering acutely from SBS, soup brain syndrome. And, well, the fact that he has to remind people which country has the Arc de Triomphe is, I mean, it's a bit concerning. We're gonna build our own Eiffel Tower. It'll be just like the one in Paris, France. You might have heard of it, Paris, France. So we'll be building our little Eiffel Tower here in Washington, D.C., just like the one in Paris. Like, oh my god, is there anything that makes us look more small than when Donald Trump gets giddy about announcing that we're gonna build a knockoff of another country's monument? Man, we are so cooked. Oh god, Republicans, what are you doing?
In every way. And Vince came in one day and his eyes were teeming. I mean, he couldn't believe how beautiful it was. He saw it and he wanted to do that. That's your primary thing. There is nothing that can compete with that. It's the only city in the world that's of great importance that doesn't have a triumphal arc. You know what that is? And this one is going to blow them all away. The one that people know mostly is the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, France. And
in case you forgot where it is, guys, it's in. Did you know it's in Paris, France? Did you guys know? Did you guys know? Can I also just say, I am 99% certain at this point that his brain is just being fried by AI. Remember when he posted the video about medbeds? He posted an AI video of himself selling medbed technology to his account as president. Medbeds aren't real. They're conspiracy theory nonsense. But more so than that, like, there's just something weird about this picture where I'm like, oh, they 3D printed him a couple small models of what it could look like, and I'm 99% certain they didn't pay like an artist or an architect to design this, and instead what happened is they typed a prompt into ChatGPT and this is what it came up with. So I'm really looking forward to them trying to build this, only for it to collapse in on itself halfway through construction. Yeah, why is he, like, again, okay, look, This is a very suggestive,
Of course
hand
we have to
gesture.
build a new Arc de Triomphe. They destroyed the old one when the Claire de Obscure and the Paintress de Gaumashed.
It's true. It's true, Ninetail. Thank you for the $5 dono. But like, it looks like he's like trying to convey penis size to me. You know, like he just kind of looks like he's trying. If I can be so crass, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Let's let's keep going because he's not quite done.
And we're going to top it by, I think, a lot. The only believable.
We're gonna top it a lot. We're gonna look. You've all heard of the Arc de Triomphe, all right? We're gonna top it. We're gonna top the Arc de Triomphe. We're gonna build an even bigger arc with even more inlaid materials. It'll be a bigger triumph. Also, keep in mind, this is at a Christmas reception. It's a Christmas party. And he's talking about just building this apropos of nothing after talking about policy that he's really excited about. I'm sorry, but building an Arc de Triomphe is not a policy, really. That's just something you want to do. Now, of course, it didn't stop there. I now present to you, again, apropos of nothing, this clip. Same reception.
Did you hear this story? And so he's being read his rights and they thought he was dead 3 different times. They carried him out, feeding him the antivenom, and over a period of months, he was unconscious for a long time, many weeks, and he made it. I asked him, "How you doing today?" He said, "Is it perfect?" Look how quiet everybody is. You know, it's funny when you talk about snakes and things like that, that people find it interesting. Would anybody like to go to Peru and walk around the forest with it? He says, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'll say no, thank you. But this was a real... Did they ever find a snake, by the way? They did. Did you hear this story?
Yes, look, sufferers of SBS are all often known to partake in rambling conversation, completely incoherent to those around him. So in this, he's trying to tell a story about someone who got bit by a snake and just is baffled and befuddled at no one laughing or making any kind of sound while he's delivering this part of his speech. And he's like, well, you know how people get when you talk about snakes. When people talk about snakes, crowds go quiet because snakes are creepy, of course. Again, the connection a soup brain syndrome sufferer would be prone towards making. God. SBS? Yes, soup brain syndrome. It's what Donald Trump suffers from. It's the technical term. And, look, I know that there was just a mass shooting in Rhode Island, but look, Donald Trump has some really important things to do, like pose in front of a bad painting of himself. All right? Look, Donald Trump has to pose awkwardly in front of a bad painting of himself, okay? He doesn't have time for your nonsense, to talk about shootings, okay? He doesn't have time for that, okay? He dedicated like 2 whole minutes to talking about the Arc de Triomphe he wants to build and knock off in Washington, D.C. He dedicated another whole minute to a story about a guy getting bitten by snakes. Here he is talking about the shooting.
And Brown University, great school. Great, really one of the greatest schools anywhere in the world. Things can happen. So to the 9 injured, get well fast, and to the families of those 2 that are no longer with us, I pay my deepest regards and respects from the United States of America. Thank you very much. It's a very... And Brown University, great school.
Things just happen.
When will he have his Waterloo?
things just happen, folks. Sometimes things just happen. Yeah, his response, what, you know, like, he had a whole ass, like, diatribe ready for snakes. He had a whole thing about being excited about an Arc de Triomphe. But when, you know, kids are killed at a university, no. He, look, shit happens, guys. Anyway, get well soon. Bye. God. You know, I don't really have, like, a way to wrap this up in a bow other than saying the Mad King is getting worse. The SBS is intensifying. It's becoming a thicker and thicker soup every day. One day it will become solid. Man, I cannot wait until some measure of sanity is restored to the White House. Like, talking about this clown every day is exhausting. Anyway, if you got anything out of this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, and consider supporting the show. Drop those subs, donos, memberships, super chats, because you guys make this show possible. Share the show around as well. It's also very important that you leave comments on the video. Apparently it likes it if it's longer than 8 words. And check out ImogeneOlivia.com. Gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes. And really just anyone who wants to feel feminine. Check it out description down in the... Well, link down in the description. There we go. Maybe I'm catching some of the soup brain. Oh no! Video's done.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather around. Twitch and YouTube and switchy streams. All that content is bursting the scenes. Politics, dating, flame more. Your sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.